Are the Clemson Tigers back? Because it sure feels like it. I don't know if they ever really left. I contemplated making this thumbnail still here. Nonetheless, Clemson is rolling. Got a win last night in Tallahassee against Florida State, 34-28, and there is a lot to unpack about this. Why do we say Clemson's back? Well, quite frankly, looks like they are back. They're playing solid on defense. We'll get to more of that in a minute, but they're playing well offensively. We'll get to more of that in a minute. But as a whole, I think the biggest thing that I'm taking away from Clemson, you're playing complementary football. Nobody's lighting it up necessarily on either side, game in and game out. You want to see more consistency probably from both sides. But as a whole, you are getting what you need. Not all the time what you want, but you're getting what you need. That could not be more true than of DJ Uiagalelei. What was the concern going in with him, right? Is he going to even be the guy? They got Cade Klubnik. He's got count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars next to his name. He might be the best option. What has DJ done? Taken that criticism, collected himself, put on his Beats headphones or whatever it is, silence the haters, turn them down, turn the knob down on the hate, and he just says, I'm about to go ball with all my guys next to me. And credit Clemson because they have done a lot around him to allow him to play well. He took a lot of the heat last year. A lot of that deserved, a lot of it also not. They have some continuity now on the offensive line. Dabo Swinney said as much. That's big for a quarterback, having a little bit better protection. Will Shipley, he's a year better. He ran for 120 yards last night. You know how much easier that makes your job as a quarterback when you have an absolute dog standing next to you in the backfield? The defense had their issues last night at the end of the game. For the most part, played well. I think the best word you could put to this Clemson defense, they played timely. Multiple stops on downs, snuffed a fake punt. There were multiple times where they needed to play from this Clemson defense to sort of get the momentum back headed their way, and they did that. I mean, look at the end of the half. Had a stop on downs, and then also forced a fumble at the end of the half, and Clemson went for the jugular. It was a clinic from a complimentary standpoint from all three phases of this football team. And that's what you need. That's what you need from Clemson going forward, and that's what you've gotten, quite frankly. I mean, look at it. Wake Forest game. Defense, the secondary's hurting, man. Sam Hartman's carving them up. Like a turkey on Thanksgiving, just absolutely getting carved up. DJ says, all right, I'll step in. I'll do what I got to do. Let's go win this thing, offense. They pick each other up so well, and we continue to see that from them. Last night, go into a raucous environment, the most difficult environment most of these guys have played in, especially on the offensive side of the ball. We told you the same thing in our preview show. 6 of these guys, of the 11 on the offensive side, were either freshmen or sophomores. Toughest environment for DJ. What they do is go score 34. I'm telling you, this is now a tendency for Clemson, week in and week out. I want to go back to DJ. This program is allowing DJ to be DJ. They're not asking him to be Trevor Lawrence. They're not asking him to be Taj Boyd. They're allowing him to be who he is. And he's not a guy that's going to throw for 300-400 every game. He can give it to you if you absolutely need it. And if you got guys around him making plays, he's capable. But that's not who he is. And quite frankly, Dabo Swinney's looking at him and saying, that's good enough for us. We'll roll with that. That's all we need from you, brother. That's all we need. Last night, you had 2 wide receivers. 2 have catches. The rest were 2 running backs and tight ends. And that's not to knock the receiving core, but it was the fashion in which those guys made plays. One of those being Antonio Williams, a freshman, Agent Zero, coming up, absolutely huge. He's that explosive ingredient this offense needs. And going back to what we said about DJ, he just needs a little bit of explosiveness in that offense to allow him to take the top off. And boom, you saw the dividends last night. You saw what happened when the guys around him step up to the table. Are they going to play better as the season wears on? I think that's a fair assumption. They still got to do it. But for Clemson, the toughest tests for them are now behind them. I know they have Syracuse, an undefeated ranked Syracuse team coming to Death Valley this coming Saturday. That's going to be a great matchup. But they've played the NC States. They've played Florida State at their house. They played the offensive juggernauts in Wake Forest. If they play how they're supposed to play, if DJ brings what he's capable of bringing to the table, Clemson's going to be okay. Clemson's going to be more than okay, actually. So here's the ultimate thought when it comes to Clemson. Regardless of if they make the college football playoff, and you know how we feel about them on this show, we think they will, they're back among college football's elite. We couldn't have said that for them last year. They have now reeled off 13 wins in a row. They have now proven the coordinators that they have put into place work. Dabo Swinney's formula, it works. They've got the right guy at quarterback. It is not a fluke. All the DJ haters are looking a little bit more foolish now as he continues to play well. It's not going to be K. Klubnik this year. Sorry about it. It's just the way that it goes for Clemson right now. Defense is vicious. They're continuing to get better. Secondary is improving. The front seven's got some freak shows, and we see flashes of it game in and game out. They were really healthy last night for the first time in a while. We saw the dividends of that at times. Again, sort of the end of the game. We're going to put that to bed a little bit and let that one kind of be an outlier. We've seen what this team's capable of, and they're back among college football's elite. I would argue they never really left. They always had it under the hood. They just refined a lot of those pieces that hurt them a season ago, quarterback being a huge one of them. Now, the scary part for everybody else, I think it's very possible their best football is ahead of them. What do we know about Dabo Swinney coach teams? They like to ride the Roy bus, right? They're cool being in that top 6. Maybe they'll be 5. Maybe they'll even sneak into 4 late in October. They're fine with that. Just sitting there in that back left seat, riding the Roy bus. And then when November hits, we got to talk about Clemson. They're undefeated, ACC champs. They're in the playoff. I think their best football is still very much ahead of them. So for Dabo Swinney and company, buckle up. Pack a sandwich. Enjoy that ride on the Roy bus. It's about to get good. I'm JD Piquel. This has been The Hard Count. We appreciate you so much tuning in. We are live here on Tuesdays, 4 Eastern, 3 Central, Thursdays, 4 Eastern, 3 Central. We would love to have you part of that. We bring in the live chat for that, kick open the door, and make sure that we say we're the people show, so we involve the people. All right? It's an absolute blast. We'd love to see y'all there for that. Again, subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss a minute of it. Until then, we're going to keep the party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.